Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
A number of emerging short-range air defense armed vehicle platforms destroyed enemy drone targets during a recent Army demonstration at White Sands Missile Range, (NM). As part of an accelerated Army effort to better arm mobile ground combat vehicles with close air defense technology. The demonstrations, which involved live-fire target exercises from a handful of vendors, were designed to help the Army fast-track a new short-range air defense, or SHORAD, system to better defend ground maneuvering targets against an increasingly wide range of aerial threats. This can include low-flying enemy aircraft such as helicopters, drones and other incoming attacks, Army and White Sands Missile Range weapons developers tell Scout Warrior. One senior Army official familiar with the demonstration explained the services need to quickly develop a stepped-up mobile, vehicle-mounted, maneuverable short-range air defense capability in light of the fast-changing global threat circumstances. Given that counterinsurgency tactics have taken center stage during the last 15 years of ground wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, the Army now recognizes a need to better protect ground combat formations against more advanced, near-peer type enemy threats, such as enemy drones, helicopters or low-flying aircraft. We atrophied air defense if you think about it. With more near-peer major combat operations threats on the horizon, the need for SHORAD and high-tier weapons like THAAD and Patriot comes back to the forefront. This is a key notion of maneuverable SHORAD. If you are going to maneuver, you need an air defense capability able to stay up with the formation, the senior Army official told Warrior in an interview. As part of the SHORAD effort, we did not want to wait for a developmental program. Quotation mark. Some of the systems included in the demonstration includes Israel's well-known Iron Dome air defense system, a Korean-built Hanwha Defense Systems armored vehicle air defense platform and a General Dynamics Land Systems Stryker maneuver SHORAD launcher. As military officials familiar with the demonstration said the Hanwha platform used was a South Korean K-30 Biho, called the Flying Tiger. It is a 30mm self-propelled anti-aircraft weapon which combines an electro-optically guided 30mm gun system with surveillance radar on a K-200 chassis. General Dynamics Land Systems Mobile SHORAD Launcher. Several General Dynamics Land Systems specially armed Stryker vehicles were also among the systems which recently destroyed enemy drone targets during the demonstration at White Sands Missile Range, (NM). According to Army officials familiar with the event, one of the Stryker used was an infantry carrier armed with an orbital ATK-XM81 30mm cannon. This weapon can be fired from within the Stryker vehicle using a remote weapon station, Army officials said. Another system was a recently unveiled GDLS Stryker variant which arms the vehicle with Hellfire missiles. While GDLS developers did not discuss the recent demonstration at White Sands Missile Range, they have, in recent weeks, told Scout Warrior about their efforts to develop and unveil the new Hellfire-armed Stryker SHORAD weapon. The new Stryker variant integrates an Avenger launcher turret onto the back of a reconfigured Stryker vehicle to bring offensive and defensive firepower close into the fight where armored Strykers can operate more effectively than tactical vehicles. GDLS has engineered the vehicle, called a Stryker Mobile SHORAD Launcher, or Stryker MSL, to address an Army urgent operational need for closer-in air defenses in mechanized or asymmetrical combat scenarios. The emerging prototype Stryker MSL platform, which uses a 3-man crew, is able to fire a Hellfire missile, AIM-9X or Longbow Hellfire, Land Systems developers said. Good engineers designed the vehicle by removing parts of the back of a Stryker to create a platform with a Boeing-built Avenger turret mounted onto the chassis, Kendall Linson, Business Development Manager, Stryker and Specialty Wheeled Vehicles, General Dynamics Land Systems, told Scout Warrior in an interview. We learned of the Army's need for short-range air defense capability and quickly came up with this solution to mount the missile capability onto the Stryker, he said. The effort marks the first time an Avenger launcher has been built onto a Stryker. Avenger has previously been built into the back of an Army HMMWV. A Stryker brings survivability and mobility. A less armored vehicle can only go so far because you have to protect the asset. A Stryker can go to the forward edge of the battlefield, Linson said. As part of a vigorous effort to address a modern threat landscape, Linson explained that the Army is working to recover short-range air defense weaponry after scaling it back following the Cold War. After the wall came down, the Army recognized it had less of a need for short-range air defense. Now, with recent operations in Europe, we recognize the need to integrate SHORAD back into the Army, Linson said. In recent years, small, lethal drones and other kinds of closer-in attack threats continue to proliferate around the globe and find their way into modern warfare. When Russia invaded Ukraine, they were using drones in their operations, which can now pose a real threat to our formations, Linson explained. The new weapon is slated for an Army GDLS demonstration shoot-off firing this September at White Sands Missile Range, (NM). The Stryker MSL will attack and destroy 2 air targets and 1 land target at the shoot-off. GDLS has a growth plan which includes integrating a 30mm weapon onto the Stryker MSL in the future. As a way to accommodate a wider range of weapons and integrate emerging ammunition or missiles in the future, Boeing has engineered a particular interface into the Avenger turret system. The interface allows the users to change the missiles and add new software as needed, Linson said. Stryker MSL will also likely incorporate onboard radar technology in the future to expedite and streamline the targeting process. The new vehicle currently relies upon a networked Sentinel Army radar system. The need to adjust weapons is of particular importance because drone technology is evolving quickly and enemy drones can be difficult to target. Proving this kind of air defense weapon on Strykers brings the additional advantage of being able to reach a wide range of Army formations to include Stryker Brigade combat teams, Armored Brigade combat teams and Infantry Brigade combat teams. The Army now operates more than 4,700 Strykers. The new Stryker, built by GDLS with internal research and development dollars, is entirely consistent with the Army's evolving acquisition strategy. Senior service leaders tell Scout Warrior the Army is making a decided effort to engineer new platforms and incorporate innovations into existing weapon systems with an ever-increasing emphasis upon being prepared for major power warfare. As a result, platforms like the Stryker are being upgraded to address near-peer threats as well as new asymmetrical and counterinsurgency challenges. In fact, the Army is now working on a new doctrine which, among other things, emphasizes the need for the service to move beyond the coin focus of the last decade and a half and prepare for the prospect of full-scale mechanized warfare, senior Army leaders told Scout Warrior. Fast track to combat. The Army is pursuing the SHORAD technology as part of a directed requirement effort, meaning the service wants to fast-track development and avoid lengthy delays often associated with the traditional acquisition process. General Dynamics Land Systems has an extensive background when it comes to the accelerated development of innovations for the Stryker. Several years ago, Good moved quickly to add protective double V-hull structures underneath Stryker vehicles to deflect blast debris from IEDs away from the vehicle. Newly engineered double V-hull Strykers were sent to Army units in Afghanistan on a rapid turnaround expedited basis. More recently, GDLS has delivered a first-of-its-kind upgun Stryker infantry vehicle armed with a more lethal, longer-range 30mm cannon as compared with the currently installed 50 cal machine guns. The upgraded Stryker also features a new fully integrated commander's station, upgraded driveline, componentry and hull modifications, according to statements from the Army's Program Executive Office Ground Combat Systems. At least 8 vehicles are now being tested as part of a broader GDLS effort to deliver 81 of the new Strykers to the Army by June of next year, Linson said. Compared to an existing M2 50 cal machine gun mounted from Strykers, the new 30mm weapon is designed to improve both range and lethality for the vehicle. The new gun can fire at least twice as far as a 50 cal, GDLS developers said. The 30mm cannon, made by Kongsberg, can use a proximity fuse and fire high-explosive rounds, armor-piercing rounds and airburst rounds. The new, more powerful orbital ATKXM 81330mm 30mm cannon, which can be fired from within the Stryker vehicle using a remote weapon station, will first deploy with the European-based 2nd Cavalry Unit. It is slated to be operational by 2018. To read Scout Warrior's previous report on the 30mm Stryker, click here. During live fire testing at Fort Benning, GAR, the 30mm cannon was able to demonstrate firing ability out to ranges of 3,000 meters. Also, while the 50 cal is often used as a suppressive fire area weapon designed